With the year coming to an end, we can look back at what 2020 brought us in terms of GTA Online and what the future might bring us. In terms of DLC, we can be done quickly with this because GTA Online got 2 DLCs and it kind of continued the trend of releasing DLCs that are bigger in size but are less frequent. Yes, I know that the Los Santos Summer Special DLC was not really that big in size, but we can safely assume that this was meant to be the replacement for Cops and Crooks that we were supposed to be getting instead. Either way, the Los Santos Summer Special was a DLC that did bring us something for the very first time, which was having all cars released on release day instead of having everything drip fed over a period of a couple of months. Personally, I think that this didn't do the game any favors because it kind of fell in the same trap that we had way back in the day. People were done with the GTA Online DLC pretty quickly again, and I think if we're gonna be fair, releasing all the cars at once was probably done so the DLC seemed bigger than it actually was. The Los Santos Summer Special DLC wasn't a bad update, it just brought some new fun cars to drive around in and brought some new life into the yacht, but that was basically it. Of course, we can't forget the quality of life updates, but that's pretty standard at this point. Luckily, there was also the Rico heist. Now, since it's been less than a week that I've done a review on it, I'll just refer you to that, as it seems pretty pointless to me to go over a bunch of details and thoughts and stuff like that I've covered like 5 days ago. Overall, 2020 wasn't a bad year for GTA Online DLC, though it wasn't the best year either. It's just a big shame that Cops and Crooks never got released, because a new heist and Cops and Crooks in the same year? Oof! Oh, sign me up. And then there is the future of GTA Online in 2021 and beyond. Personally, I wouldn't really expect anything big until the next gen versions have been released in terms of DLC. Reason being is that, well, PS4 and Xbox One, primarily the base consoles, are just really at their limits already. And while I understand there is still a lot of players on there and next gen consoles are as rare as the amount of dates I had in 2020, GTA Online really does need a hardware refresh to hopefully take the next big steps in terms of DLC. If you look at the differences in DLCs when PS3 and 360 were left behind, GTA Online did take a pretty big leap, and it was also for the better. The original Heist DLC was reportedly pretty hard on the game, and while the PS4 and the Xbox One versions of the game are giving me some strong vibes of the summer of 2014, where the Xbox 360 version was doing a lot of freezing and pretty much became unplayable at times. With the release of the PS4 and the Xbox One versions of the game, we were introduced to stuff like lowriders, dynamic free roam missions, more heist, more interiors, more everything, and even an entirely new casino and a new island. All of this and more wouldn't have been possible on 360 and PS3, so it does make you wonder how much more is going to be possible when we take the leap to PS5 and Xbox Series X. We can already see the effects of the SSDs in these systems because of the much faster loading times as single player, and to some effect also in GTA Online. The game finally runs at a stable 30 FPS, something that at this point even the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X are no longer able to do, at least in public lobbies. The next gen versions will hopefully be able to bring us not only 60 FPS on console, but also just a smoother experience overall. Say what you want about Red Dead Online, but as a game in terms of movement and overall feel, I would personally argue that it feels much less clunky than GTA Online does, at least on console. Of course, I'm not comparing horses to horsepower here, I'm primarily talking about combat. Though I do think that with a 60 FPS upgrade on console, the game will feel a lot smoother and less clunky. Having played GTA Online primarily on PC for the guides and videos I made for the Rico heist, the difference in terms of experience is pretty huge. Of course, there's also the modders, but you know, let's not talk about that. They don't exist, right? Right, okay. If you go back to console after having been on PC, then yeah, the difference is pretty noticeable, and not in a good way. It's pretty painful. You're getting half the amount of FPS. It's like playing on Xbox One after you've played on PS4 Pro for a while. It's not a good time. As for new content, I'm personally scratching the back of my head on that one if I'm being completely honest, because what hasn't been done in GTA Online at this point? Races? Plenty. Heist? We got 4 now. Map expansion? Check. Go-karts, F1 cars, rocket-powered vehicles, Harry Potter's broomstick, you name it, GTA Online has probably got it. It's with this thought in mind that you really have to wonder, what can Rockstar still add? Like, it goes without saying that I still really enjoy playing GTA Online, but it's now in its 8th year, and well, next-gen versions are undoubtedly going to add bigger and hopefully better DLCs, but what exactly? For starters, there needs to be go-kart races, because the fact we can drive these in custom races is simply criminal. Luckily, you can still use transfer races to play them, but where's my pariah versus go-kart racing at? The only thing I could possibly think of that they could do and have some potential with is more map expansions, bigger heists, more advanced systems in the game with more depth to it. But other than that, I really don't know. The game is old. The game has done a lot of things already. There's a lot of great content that has been released over the last couple of years. But the game is full. The game has a lot of content in there already. And other than rehashing old ideas, I guess, I don't really know what else they can do. I mean, sure, they probably have a lot more ideas and a lot more things that they could add to the game, but I'm just curious what exactly they have in mind for the next gen versions of the game. Maybe more map expansions, but at the same time, adding another Kaiparico-ish type of deal, because as cool as Kaiparico is as an island, I don't personally think that there's much there for free roam, like I've mentioned before. So for that reason, I don't know. I hope at the very least that they'll make Kaiparico playable in free roam without those damn guards always bouncing in your chest. It hurts and it's painful. Either way, I am looking forward to see what the future holds for GTA Online, and of course, especially after those next-gen versions have come out, because I think after that we might be able to expect some bigger and better things, but this is of course just pure speculation. Hopefully, we'll be seeing some bright future for GTA Online, and hopefully, just hopefully, next year we'll hear a little bit more about GTA 6. Hopefully, maybe, pretty please, Rockstar, I just really would like GTA 6. Yeah? Okay? Can we do that? Appreciate it. Thanks. But of course, I would love to know what you think down in the comment section down below. Do you have any grand ideas of what exactly Rockstar should add as a DLC on maybe only the next gen versions, because you don't think that's going to be possible on this current generation? But with all that said, and with all that done, that was it for this one. Thank you all so very much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more, and if you really like what you see, consider becoming a member, like all the lovely members on screen. And I'll see you all later.